very short presentation. I will give the floor to the advisory board members after the presentations that our invited speakers are going to make. I will suggest to start with the short presentation from Mrs. Irena Domjanovic, who we are very happy to have her with us. She is an expert in marketing in the telecommunications field. She is a co-founder of two companies, the Digital IQ that has to do with business consultancy, and Agilcon, which has to do with human resources management. And she is the lady behind the digital transformation of the Croatian telecom. Mrs. Domjanovic, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here, and thank you for inviting me. I'm really excited to speak to all of you, to hear what other great women have to say. I'm really always interested in other people's stories. I hope mine will be interesting. I never thought so. I always thought, just things happen how they happened. I never give it much thought, to be honest. Of course, if you have any questions, I'll be very happy to answer. When I accepted this invitation, of course, I was thinking about, okay, so what I'm going to say, what would the audience find interesting? And I thought maybe starting with how I actually started working might be interesting to some of you. So basically, what's interesting about me is that I'm not from a technical field, even though this is somewhere I ended up today, as you said. I am a co-founder basically of two, let's say, tech-related companies. Agilcon is a company that has produced this HR application that you mentioned, and also we do implementations of CRM solutions and stuff like that. And I'm a managing partner, co-founder of our office here in Croatia. Digital IQ is something that's much closer to what I actually did before. That's consulting, mostly in the area of sales and marketing. However, as you know, the world is now, what I mostly do is consult around marketing technology. And this is an area that I'm especially interested in, and something that I'm really pursuing for the last 10 years as a special interest of mine. How I started, so actually I'm a student of languages. So my field of study when I started at university was English and German. I'm English and German major. And I'm always reminded of the fact that while I was attending my MBA, I was the butt of the jokes in all the sessions from our, like accounting people and even some marketing people, because there is this misconceptions that people who study humanities are just, dumb people who just read books all the time and are interested in practical things, which I always thought was not true. I think that people who have very broad interests, such as people who do study humanities, are actually people that contribute to the society the most. Of course, if they employ this knowledge, this is the reason why I studied humanities, because I thought that was something that will give me a really broad picture of the human experience, which I will maybe use. What's interesting about, the way I think it's interesting about the way I see the world is that I don't really have that much of a set goal in life. Maybe a bit embarrassing to admit, but that is true. And I think that's okay. Oftentimes I have wondered, okay, wouldn't it have been better if I had like a set goal, for me to become a president or something, and just pursue this goal. And I think that is great if you have that. That's great thing that you have your goal. Then you can always assess, at the point of life that you are at, are you really on the path to this goal? That's great. But also, if you don't have that, I think that's okay too. Now today I'm 46 years old, and still I don't think that I have a set goal in life. I wouldn't say that I go with the flow, but I am really interested in a lot of things, and I really go by instincts, and so far they have not failed. So I'm really happy and grateful about that. But let's get back to how I started actually working. So in the university, as I studied English and German, obviously, the way to make money, which was at that time very important for me, was to, go and interpret or translate, and do stuff like that. And as chance would have it, I was actually employed by a technological company that needed an interpreter. And of course, I accepted, it was a good gig. And I started working with them, and I was really interested in what they're doing, really interested. And they were in telecommunications or telecommunications related field. So I started working with them as a translator and interpreter, part-time. But also, just really started to get into what they're doing. And over the course of time, I was employed in their marketing department, but I was always interested in what they do. I really started to develop this interest of mine into something, that's work related. So the lesson, when I reflect upon that experience and how this all happened, I think the lesson for anybody, especially young people who are, let's say, starting a career or want to do something, is just, if it will feel right for you, and this is something that you feel you want to do, just, go and pursue it. And I think that if you show initiative, if you show excitement, if you show enthusiasm and hard work, it's going to pay out for you. This is what happened to me, so I can, only, based on my experience, this is what really happened, because I have really, after that, I've really pursued those types of gigs, let's say, and, just follow this mantra of being my authentic self, doing stuff that I like to do, doing stuff where I can really contribute, and really working very hard. And just, things started happening. Obviously, yes, as you progress through your career and, go into, higher management positions, stuff like that, of course, things get a bit more political. It's not just all about enthusiasm. But I would say even then, if you're really doing something that you're excited about, that you really believe in, that you do it authentically, and you do not compromise your values or your ethics, I mean, you will be in a good place, to really advance. And if you find yourself, and I have in my career, unfortunately found myself in some surroundings that I was not really a good fit for, or vice versa, or situations, let's say, that I found uncomfortable or unethical, it's just something you're being really honest and being, let's say, a bit more fearless, having the courage, to get yourself out. Yeah. And just to say, look, I mean, this is not a good fit for me. I don't know if it's a female thing or not. I was always a bit fearful, about making a decision that would drastically change my life. I don't know if you can relate to that. I think a lot of women can. I think by nature and what I've seen from experience, we are a bit more conservative. And it sometimes, makes us maybe stay in some situations longer than we should have stayed. But this is something that, if you encountered this and you want to, move forward, I think a good support network, such as the organization is doing, is a great thing. And I think there were times in my life when maybe I would have wanted a good mentor, somebody that could have maybe advised me, what is my next step. I didn't necessarily, when I think of some situations, I would say, maybe I would have handled things better with better advice. I mean, there is something to be said about, learning on your own skin, as we say, but, not everything has to be that hard. So I think, and I applaud your decision to start with this network. I think it's a great thing. And I think it's very much needed for everybody, not just women, but women especially, I think. And I would be happy, if I could help somebody, anybody, with my advice and my story to go through some situations so that they don't have to repeat the same mistakes. As I said, ending up in tech is something that happened because of my interest, but ending up in entrepreneurship was really a deliberate decision. So that's maybe something more interesting because, as I said, I've been, let's say, a high position telecom executive for like almost close to 20 years. 20 years of career and highly positioned, for some 10 years. And it was a really comfy position that it's difficult to get yourself up, right? It's a sort of, as you say, golden cage, yeah? And it wasn't an easy decision. I am by nature, I am inquisitive, but not that risk. I'm a bit risk averse. And that's another thing. I think that you really have to be quite honest about who you are and what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are, so that you can really realistically assess what you cannot do, where you need help and stuff like that. I think that's very important. And this is what helped me. I wanted to go into entrepreneurship. I thought I was ready, and I thought that this would be a good move for me, but something was holding me back. What helped me was great advice, actually from a male friend of mine, who just helped me, make a very realistic assessment of my situation, both financial, time in my life and stuff like that. Because my entrepreneurial career is not that long. I mean, I've been an entrepreneur for shy over 3 years. That's not a long time. So it's still quite very fresh. But I'm loving it. It's a great feeling that you have the strings in your hand, and this is something that you have the complete control over, and you can shape things in the way that you feel that they should be. Preparing for this, I was thinking about, did my career in let's say corporation help or not help my entrepreneurship, let's say, future? I really don't know the answer to that question. I think for now, of course, it has helped, because it has helped me, with some formal knowledge that you have from corporations. Corporations have some good stuff about them in terms of processes, procedures. I actually know stuff. Also, corporations, paid for some of my education. Very grateful, of course. But I think, there is maybe a little bit of edge that a corporation sends off you. And this is something maybe that some entrepreneurs have maybe a bit more oomph, yeah. And this is why I'm not going into this alone, yeah. Both the companies that I have co-founded with some partners, and this is the comfortable situation for me. This is something that I feel is the best fit for me, to have people that I love, people that I trust, yeah, and people that I really complement well with. And this is the path for me, yeah. For some others, of course, there are some very successful lone wolves, so to say, and I applaud these women. I think they're super courageous. So yeah, that was my story, my path, my truth. If you have some questions, yeah, feel free. Everybody loves talking about themselves. I'm no exception.
If I may, I will be the first one, because I know you.
Yeah.
Drive it. There are two things that I would like you to share with us. You are the one of the pioneers in the digital transformation. So yeah. You were working on digital transformation when we were in an elementary school. And,
that's true.
And can you just tell us what is the difference and what is the speed of the tech development, and how can ordinary woman that has a life, kids, some daily obligations, track everything and be updated and be productive and be, let's say, efficient? I know it's a multitasking, it's hard, but what is your experience?
Yeah. Well, I have to tell you, I mean, of course, it's not without its difficulties. I would say you cannot be, omnipresent and excellent in everything, even though, myself have this inclination, and of course, other people, I'm sure as well. This is not possible. You will always fail at something. I think you definitely have to realistically assess your priorities. But even before that, I think that, what has changed for me the most. And let's just make a little bit of a caveat. I really have a great private situation in terms of that my husband and my family are very supportive and we share responsibilities. But I think this is exactly the stuff. If you really want equality and equal share of responsibility in the workplace and in the society, you have to start at home. Yeah, you have to demand for yourself and for your family that the tasks are divided as equally as possible in a fair manner as possible. And I've really been fortunate that I've been able to do this. My husband and my family have always been very supportive of me. Behind me, there's a support network of people. But I think it was very important that I personally expressed my needs. Yeah. this is what I want to do in life. In order for this to happen, I need to have help in this manner. And I think you have to be honest and open about what you need in order for you to succeed, but not be selfish, right? It's not all about you. It has to contribute to family, to your people, the important people in your life and your work. Regarding the transformation bit that you asked, yes, when I started with the digital transformation in the biggest telecom here in Croatia, this was a big task because it was new, as you said, nobody has done it before. We had some help, of course, from our German colleagues that were leading the effort. It was a big task, but I think, and a lot of people that have undergone this test will agree, digital transformation is just another business transformation. It's mostly human-oriented and business-oriented with the aid of technology. Technology will always, be advancing, give you different, approaches and different advantages. But if you truly and in depth understand the nature of business and of people and their behavior, technology will just be something that you use to make a change or some advantage. So this is my point, and I think this is something where us as women have a lot of insight, and we should not be afraid of technology, just a tool. Use what you know and where you are good, and the rest of the things you will just learn. It's not that difficult.
Great. Thank you very much. I have a question too, but first let's ask the ladies who are with us, or ladies that attend online. If you have any questions, you can just unmute yourself and ask anything. So I will ask then, in general, if I would like to know if you have noticed a change in the opportunities that, can you hear me?
Yeah, I just didn't hear the first part.
Okay. If you have noticed a change in the opportunities that a woman is given as time passes, and since I know you, I guess you have an international experience, I know not only from one country, if you feel that the moment may be right for women not to be exception, 1, 2, 3 exceptional women that do you feel there is field to make a change?
Yeah, I think, things are really changing. If you ask me, of course, something may happen, but at this point, I'm really very optimistic about the place of women in the workplace in the future. I would have bet everything that I know that, women will definitely take over, so to speak. Looking at the great colleagues that we have here in our company and the people that I work with, just women are, in my experience, just, I don't know why, but they're just more hardworking. They are really, giving it their best. They're great, insightful, they're multitaskers, there's so many assets. Of course, there's great people all around, I'm not excluding men in the least. And I think that we should always, we should support each other for sure, as we should support everybody. And there are a lot of great men that can help you as well. And you should embrace this, nobody should be excluded in this. But of course, women have some catching up to do. That's for sure. I've never thought about it before. I think this topic came into light for me maybe some 5 years ago when I joined a similar project to your project, which was international, Swiss based, about empowering women. And it just, started resonating with me because I always, I was fortunate. I was in environments where, I didn't feel disadvantaged at all, and a lot of women, with us. So I really didn't notice this as a problem. But, over the last, as I started going to higher management, then I noticed, because there are a lot less women there, a lot of in operations, but not as much in managerial positions. So I thought that was a problem. And I think, this is our problem, women problem, and we should solve this problem. Yeah. We should support each other, hire each other. We should, push each other. We should, really make a joint effort, because we understand our needs and we understand, how to get us there. And, as the old saying goes, nobody will help you but yourself. So let's do it. Let's just, especially as women in power and in positions, let's just, make this happen. Really, it is the time now. I think so.
Okay, thank you very much. I hope we will have more time to discuss further on this. Thank you for this inspiring talk.
Thank you.
There are other sessions that will follow, so we have to hurry up a little bit and give the floor to the next speaker, who is Mrs. Nives Radović. I don't know which way to introduce her, because she has a
multi-talented person.
She's a researcher and proliferate in writing. She is a businesswoman. She has founded FinTech, and she is one of the top 100 most influential researchers. And she has been awarded with the Businesswoman Award in 2018 in Montenegro. So there are many, many more that Mrs. Nives Radović can tell us. So we just...
the floor is yours. Well, the first question is, on which continent are you right now? Because you are living in continents simultaneously.
Thank you for the question. Even if I'm switching 3 continents this month, I'm currently in Europe. So just say that I'm switching among countries. But thank you for the invitation. Thank you for this really nice opportunity to grow our network and to exchange experience, because it seems like I always hear when there's a female story of the tech part, we always see that story of our lifetimes, that we actually end in technology unplanned. Many very professional women in technology sector are actually not there because that was their dream job when they were girls, when they were in school, and so on. So in these terms, I will also get back to my dream job when I was a little girl. I think we all remember what was our dream job when we were, let's say, 5, 6, or 7. And I don't think that many of us, nor male or female, actually responded that we wanted to be engineers or business people or so. I know some people who did, but at the age of 5, at the age of 6, you actually are not so aware of the possibilities for yourself, unless you're a computer genius at the age of 5. So you actually were introduced to that at the early age. But even if you play games on computer, you're not see yourself as somebody who is in programming and so on. So when I was really young girl, I decided to be a painter. And that was my decision to do this for the rest of my life. I come from the artistic family where everybody chose their occupation at the early age. So those were musicians, designers, and so on. So people who actually decided what to do when they were at the elementary school and directed themselves, they actually educated themselves in that direction for the rest of their life and for the rest of their education, actually. So at the age of 12, actually, I started very intensively taking artistic courses from painters, from art classes and teachers, and so on and so on. And during my high school, I went to gymnasia, actually grammar school. I was like interested in many subjects, mostly in mathematics and so on, but wasn't so much keen about any other subject that would be like that would give me some focus in, like, say, law or in economics or so on, because they were those, how to say, popular occupations of my generation, because everybody wanted to be either the lawyer or the diplomat or the medical doctor and so on. I just kept my desire to be the painter, and that was it. So, and I liked the math, because math was the only course that I could study with the music turned on. So that was the actually something that after I actually graduated from high school, those were like that month when you were deciding what you want to be. Okay, you grow up, but now you have to choose in which direction to go. And as a painter, I can say that I was a painter at the age of 18, but as somebody who was very skilled with something that would be my future profession, I actually realized that, okay, I can paint very well, I can do something, but I cannot sell the painting because I had a lack of knowledge how to sell anything, because I was very skillful. Actually, I grew my talent into skills, and I had a lot of practice. I was very educated by my art teachers, but I was completely lost on the market because I never, until that I was at the age of 18, I never sold anything. I painted for school exhibitions, I painted for some book covers, comics, and so on, but never anything like something that somebody would buy, somebody would give the money, and I wanted to live from that. So it was really a short time to prepare for anything, but my math knowledge actually helped me to enroll economics. I wasn't that much business person, and I really disliked the world of business in general. At the age of 18, it was like somebody's working something in the business, and okay, those are some people that I dislike. I mean, some world that was completely strange to me, but somehow my very first job in 2004 was in a bank. Believe it or not, a painter in the bank was like something that I never dreamed of, and something that I like until the point that I see what the banking actually is, because it's not a creative business. It was really something that where you can earn significant. I mean, you can earn more than, let's say, in many similar industries and so on. And it's something that's interesting, but has no such. It's just going in one direction, and that's it. So only if the bank itself expands, you're doing something that's more. That just gives something that is different than that you did yesterday, and so on. So you have no possibility to invest your creativity in something that is that's actually something that you would like. So actually banking was fine. I really enjoyed that work to give me some support for my next steps in life, but actually it wasn't something that I would accept for a lifetime. However, because I lived in Montenegro at that time, because I'm originally from Montenegro, I was wondering how actually the monetary phenomena of euro was something that that's something that was that emerged in Europe as an idea, and how it was generally accepted, and how it actually costs to have how to say unique currency, and what would be if the whole world would have a global currency, for example. So those researches, because I started research in 2007, I was actually very into euro as a monetary phenomenon. I was exploring and wrote a bunch of articles on that topic. So many were published in the media, many were published in like handbooks and so on, and I gave some courses about it and so on. I was actually wondering what would be if we had like a global currency. And that actually introduced me to the story of Bitcoin and blockchain particularly, which I chose to be my next field of research. And actually the blockchain itself actually showed me how plenty of opportunities exist in anything that you might do, and anything where you can connect whatever you do, even if it's any kind of business, to blockchain. So even if art, with the emergence of NFTs, that I believe many of you are following the trends and see what's going on in NFT market. So for all these years before the popularity, so to say, of NFTs, even if that technology exists for a while, many were asking me, okay, how do you combine art? Because I never stopped painting. I'm having exhibitions every month, and I'm very active in that field, but also I'm doing in the blockchain. So people are constantly asking, okay, how do you combine blockchain and art? And I just say, okay, NFT. So yes, it's like we have to get to the point of being a woman in a business and technology world. I think that my, how to say, female brain actually helped me in making all these decisions. It actually helped me get through, actually pass the obstacles and get through switching many different multitasking things and so on, because I guess our brains are made for multitasking, and we are actually, it's not hard for us to switch industries, to switch even places and even continents and so on. So it's very easy for me because I just, if I see it will bring me some additional value, like either if it's knowledge or money or getting more skills in something, it's easy for me to accept. So I'm not like I actually passed the barrier of getting too connected and too tight with something at the moment when I decided, okay, I won't go to Fine Arts Academy, I will go to business school, I will go to study economics. It was like something, okay, I'm not born for anything. I'm born to find my way. I'm not like born to be the painter. Okay, I'm painter today. I mean, it's not like that's why I always say when training young people, regardless male or female, but even if we're more present in these how to say female circles, well, like even if it's mentorship or something, don't tie yourself to something and think that it's the whole your world. So if you just have like one of your jobs and you think, okay, this is my job and this is my reality and nothing else exists out of that, so I'm not that much I'm gonna say that I encourage people to take risks and give up and so on. But even if you stick to something that really doesn't give you any kind of value, is your job very well paid? Does it brings you any kinds of education? Are you smarter after, let's say, working 1 or 2 or 3 years on that position? So are you growing on that position? So if all answers are negative, then it's not like you're not taking any risk if you leave the job, unless you really have some bad financial situation, have no possibility. But I think everybody now has a possibility to change the job, regardless how maybe in some situation right now it's not, or some at some point of time there's some situation that are not so. The market is actually going in one or other direction, but I always encourage people to explore and to work on to accept the positions and to accept the things that will make their personal growth really visible, first of all to them and then to the people around them. So I'm doing a lot of things in Super Hub. It's like an abbreviation of the Independent Association of Professionals for Electronic Development. I'm actually the only woman in that society. I'm actually training I'm actually giving mentorships for startups and for young people, for young entrepreneurs. I remember my first entrepreneurial steps. I was only 22, not yet 23, when I decided, okay, I really dislike working for somebody for some salary, for be like for somebody who actually give me some pieces of something that their earnings are actually, because I was working in a, so to say, a bit small company. I mean, so not small, but has like 25 employees, but is earning millions and millions every month, because the company profile is from that industry. I was always wondering where all that money goes, because I know how much I earn. And I just didn't want to work for somebody's pieces of something, even if it was for, let's say, for my friends and for my people around me. It was like that looked like a dream job for them. So at a very early stage, I actually decided to be an entrepreneur, regardless how hard it was. It was before the crisis of 2008. It was at the moment when actually, if all of you remember, I guess, how the hype of the investing and marketing and on the market and everything was in, let's say, 2007, 2008, before the emergence of crisis. You remember how everybody was like investing, buying something, money was circulating all around, and so on, so on. So I started my own business. I even had several employees, and I had like very good connections with the markets. But one lesson for my life was not to have only one big client that will actually direct the majority of your business. So the crisis of 2008 was the moment where I actually lost everything that I built in a bit more than a year. Of course, I was very young at that time, and it wasn't the end of my world, but it was the end of my finance at that moment. So they were very, very hard times, but were a very, very significant lesson. Later, I read, even if I disliked those coaching books and so on, but I read, like some guy wrote, if you never bankrupt, you will never be a millionaire. So those are like those motivation things, even if I really dislike any kinds of advice in that direction, why not tailor-made. So if I ever have to get back to how I ended up in tech world, I actually were exploring exploring changes as opportunities. So it's not like I decided, okay, I will be a programmer, I will be a blockchain specialist, I will be anything from that part, I will be blockchain analyst, I will be whatever in that direction. It wasn't something like I could say, even if with NFTs, even if I had the artistic background and the blockchain background, I could never tell, okay, I will be minting NFTs on some platform and earn from that and so on. I will be teaching NFTs like I do now and so on, because you never know actually what will happen in a 2 year, because 2 or 3 year is time in today's world is something when the whole industries are changing. The majority of kids that I'm working with these days, when I say kids, I mean people from 16 to 26, because my academic and non-academic actually programs that were parts of some studies were made for the people between 16 and 26. So they're combining millennials and the very, very young people. And actually those programs were made to get the insights and the inputs from the real life, from the real representatives of those generations, because the education, when you say like, okay, I would teach somebody something in some field, I'm a professional, I'm an expert, I'm a Ph.D, I'm somebody who wrote 20 books and so on. Okay, but do you really know your audience? Do you really know your students? Do you really know what are their needs? That's why I combine actually my especially some people that are actually in the academic career constantly communicate with me. I mean, I'm giving that as a service for them. In exploring the, how to say, market, because even if you're teaching something, you're actually selling some kind of service, you're giving some skills, but are those skills really something that they can apply in their future professions? So I really enjoy traditional way of education, and I really think that my generation had a very good opportunity to be educated in these traditional, how to say, finance and so on. Even if I had like a background in the very, very, how to say, specific type of finance, and if you're a professor or doing some education for startup and so on, is really know your audience, know those people who are you addressing to, know what you actually, the value that they're looking for. So far, all of us who are working with, let's say, students or even younger people, we are working with the people whose occupations don't exist today. And it's really hard to predict what will be useful for them when it comes to some technical skills, when it comes to something that they will use in their future occupations. You have to be aware. I mean, all of us who are in the education process, and that really requests a lot of updates. And it's actually the hardest part of our jobs. I mean, all of us who are in training industry, but is also another thing that make us all grow and update, because otherwise I could maybe write one book 10 years ago and teach and overteach it for generations without myself being upgraded. I actually update my courses and whatever I do on a monthly basis, because courses that I gave, well, let's say,
be very interested to hear if you find it better to easier or more productive to teach younger people who pursue a career, or startups or women in startups who want to proliferate in this field? I have this question, but I'm afraid it is extremely interesting to let you speak and just hear you. But I'm afraid we need to speed up a little.
But as we speed up, there is always room for just one short question and a short answer.
Okay.
I know that you are working with young people as a mentor, that you are a business coach in several continents. I would like to know how many females are actually working in those startups. So how many, what is the percent, let's say, average percentage of the female that are right now trying to set up their own business?
Well, I can say that out of, let's say, 5 startups, there could be 1 or at most 2 with 1 girl in a team, 1 girl, one woman in a team. And mostly those girls, even if there's the brain of the whole project. So I had a startup where 1 woman was the one who initiated whole things, and the guys were those who executed the idea and realized it. But mostly women in startup industry are those who pitch, so those who are presenting, those who are speaking, who are doing PR and so on, and very, very few of them are in engineering. I would just say one thing, let's say for a company that I'm working right now, it's Teslovat. I actually had a job position posting, like there were 3 positions. I had about 45, I think 45 so far candidates without any single woman. And those are jobs who are, okay, it's programming, it's developing and so on, but there are plenty of women in courses and studies of programming, development, blockchain, full stack, front end, and so on, and without any application from one female candidate. So I see so many girls are entering the courses, especially when it comes to enrolling the courses, when it comes to education of programming development. Many of them are going to colleges and faculties with the IT courses and so on, but I don't know what's going on. Where are they on the job market?
Well, I can agree that's the same thing we have in the maritime market, but I would like to thank you, Anna. I invite you to stay with us as much as you can, and we are inviting our next speaker.
Yes, it is Mrs. Anna Manioudaki from Greece. She is a digital marketing specialist and associate partner and project manager at Mexoxo. This is from another part, not the business entrepreneur part. Mexoxo is an NGO that has supported hundreds, not thousands of women worldwide, and has great partnerships. It is an organization supported by many big companies and is leading activities of women empowerment, not only in the digital skills area. But I would leave Mrs. Manioudaki to give us the details.
Exactly. Thank you very much. Thank you for meeting you all. I will try to be as quickly as I can. So Mexoxo is a non-profit organization that supports women to achieve their full potential, and believing that education is the tool for growth and change. Mexoxo encourages and enables and facilitates women's active involvement in business, employment, learning, and community. Elpida, our CEO, founded Mexoxo in 2013 with a vision to unleash every woman's potential anywhere at any time. The mission of the organization is to support 5 million women by 2030 to achieve socioeconomic growth. And since its inception, Mexoxo has empowered 27,300 plus direct women in 20 countries and has recorded an indirect impact of 109,200 women, as every woman who is empowered and supports 4 more within their family and community. It is worth noting that Miho has created opportunities of $1.5 million United dollars in total value to support its women either in via growth opportunities, funding, or education. I shall say that our CEO usually says, and we believe it too, that investing in women's education is one of the most transformative development strategies, and we prioritize effort that enables all women to complete at least secondary education and develop the knowledge and skills they need for life and work. During Miho's program, special events are organized and are to be conducted to ensure that the participants that take full advantage of the learning opportunity for their growth and gain a deeper industry in every field that we make a program, understanding and develop the new age soft skills that will increase their employability. Miho's in-house program is Break Your Ceiling sessions that Elpida does. In one such program designed to build the skills, resilience, boldness, and self-motivation among young women and older as they prepare to enter a new unknown endeavors. The pillars that Miho in-house and generally speaking in our programs are that designed under thoroughness, empathy, ownership, and agility. From educations and operations, teams to marketing and beneficiary service, there are a variety of working procedures to ensure that all stages across the beneficiary's journey are engaging, efficient, and effective, and thus to deliver to them, to deliver to wonderful people a new impact circle. We say it like that we make a new circle of impact. Our main objective in the programs are to inspire, aspire, and enrich women's capacity, education, as I said, and network also to live their lives in economic stability. Empowering women is a clear path to influence and change to equal and long-term wealth on a global scale. To bring together with academia, governmental, corporate, and local NGOs partners, collective change, and unleash every woman's potential anywhere at any time, as already said, and build a safe place for all. Last year, we had 2 programs running through digital sessions. It was with Info Academy and the Google org. It was Women in Tech. It was regarding the IT support, where 600 women have participated and take their diploma. Also, this program is again given to us to empower them and being educated through data analysis, project management, again, IT support and UX design. And also we had another program regarding women in the field of tourism, where they learn digital marketing, so to close the gap that was in that field. Through all our programs, we do special inspirational talks and workshops, like in the Info Academy, the IT support, we did several engineering workshops. And but the new thing about Miho is that we are launching a new app, the Match app, with the pillars of Meet, Master, and Manifest, where all women join. So in the Meet pillar, we enable women to meet mentors, opinion leaders, and other women to collaborate and grow their common economic capacity. Women become the force of each other. So a woman from India can collaborate with a woman from Greece to master. We offer online education from top academic institutions. We are cooperating with the Cornell University right now, and women can attend experts lectures from around the world, test their knowledge, and acquire educational certifications that will help them to master their career and their entrepreneurship journeys. And last, manifest. We help women to manifest and discover their self-power, build resilience, keep working towards achieving their dreams, and feel that assurance that they can succeed. So it's something new, it's something digital, it's technology for us. We are not keen on technology, generally speaking, all the team, and we're very excited about it. Now that we're speaking, Kenya, India, and Mexico are the new countries that we are supporting, and we are very proud of it. And we keep going. Thank you very much. If there is any question, I can respond to anyone.
I have a quick question regarding, it's a double question, and we will go on with Ms. Irena Domjanovic, but she's a member of, ex-member of SMART4ALL, so she can do it quickly. She's experienced. So the one has to do with you told us about India, for example, now, which is a country that has great needs in many aspects, not only education and common empowerment. But can you give us a percentage of women from Southeastern European countries? Like we've said, it is our target that some of your activities and initiatives are answering to. Do you have in mind a percentage probably of women who can make use of your programs?
Yes.
And
okay, you can go on.
Or if you are planning anything for the future, any future plans or inspiration that you may have.
Yes, exactly. It's my fault that I said that this program with India, Kenya, and Mexico are under the cooperation with L'Oreal Women. So the funding from L'Oreal. So the countries are chosen by L'Oreal. This year we have also Greece. In the Europe, we do not have a new country, but to 2023, we are waiting for the new list of the countries. The percentage, no, I don't know it to share it with you right now, but Elpida through these years for the 16 countries, I've been to Serbia, Romania, and I think Belarus also. And I don't remember if anyone else that have been empowered the women through Mexoxo. Regarding the entrepreneurship, though, path.
Okay, I see your point, and maybe this could be an open field to discuss further about this geographical area and distribution. It would be our pleasure to have you join our network and further discuss on common activities for women empowerment in this geographical area. I have more questions, but I have to speed up though, and then leave an open field of discussion. So I will leave her present most of this, but before this I have to give credits to Mrs. Irena Radović because of the fact that when we came to see that many women from the beneficiaries gave her testimonials, and we saw that it was almost half of the beneficiaries that they were yes, she has a part of of this success because she has worked as a business coach for SMART4ALL beneficiaries, and not only for organizing major events and joint events. And I must say that one of the beneficiaries that she was coaching got an IoT award in a great Greek business contest. So this only speaks words of why she's the one that will give one more presentation today. Just let's load her presentation and give her a few minutes.
Well, as I see you, we are somehow we are dark in this.
Yeah.
In this, but it's not my computer, so and I'm also left-handed, so it's not easy to share. How do I move this? Okay. Can you see the presentation fully? Yeah. Yes. Can you see the full presentation or the?
Nicolina, we just see your files. That's all we see.
Give us a minute.
Okay, Katarina will arrange the presentation. Well, let me introduce myself for those who don't know me until now. My name is Nicolina Radović. I'm coming from Montenegro, and I have 12 years of experience in maritime industry. My educational background is international marketing and management, and as most of you, something that we dreamed of to become as girls and something that we were educated for isn't something that we are right now into it. So basically, I started working as an intern in the company that is related with the shipping inspections almost 15 years ago, and then I moved forward, and right now I'm the project manager of that company and co-founder of the other company. So my professional path is also correlated with a cooperation with academia, and I was and I'm still engaged in several EU projects. And I choose to be involved in those projects because I realized that the education without the support of the business and the business without the lifelong learning can't survive. So basically, I will talk to you right now about the woman in the maritime sector. You know that the United Nations made the Sustainable Development Goals that need to be achieved until 230, and one of those goals is gender equality. To be honest, for the last 12 years, I have only seen 2 women that came from the Spanish company. Well, I'm not sure if I can mention it. It's Petrogas. It's a large oil company. Only 2 women are in the advisory board, and several companies Europe-wide have 5 to 6 women that are on the operational level. So basically, maritime industry is traditionally male-dominated industries. And with the cooperation with the universities in the region, we realized that the number of the girls that are coming to the maritime faculties and universities are increasing. But after the graduation, they are doing some jobs that are completely different from this industry. I know that going on board and on ship is extremely physically difficult for women, but there is also a place for improvement and to put those women in some let's say administrative and managerial fields. IMO is International Maritime Organization, and it has set several initiatives that are related to the gender equality. The first one is with SMART4WOMEN's International Shipping and Trading Agency, and there in our region there are several initiatives that are encouraging women to take part in a business and entrepreneurship. One of that is STEM. The STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and marketing. And the STEM organization is supported by UNDP. The other one is WIT, Women Know How to Support It. Last week they had a conference in Belgrade, and I think 70 women from the Microsoft joined that initiative. Regarding the maritime industry, this is me in the shipyard. Well, from time to time you need to go on board. You need to go to do some physical meetings with people. As you can see by the latest survey, only 1.2% of the global seafarer workforce is related to women. And to be honest, it wasn't a very pleasant experience. I was there with 6 of my colleagues, and a lot of workers were buzzing around us. So basically, you need to be confident, and from my experience, even to have more knowledge to survive in this harsh work. Of course, there is a space for improvement, and there is a need to encourage women to do that. Regarding the maritime industry, of course, IMO also supports that leadership program. As I already saw, and as I already told you, most of people doesn't have background that is specifically related to the maritime sector, and therefore they need to adapt some kind of the knowledge. They are doing some accelerators program, and in our region we are trying to support academia. I have some guest lectures from the field of marketing, ship maintenance, and so on, just to introduce students how the work really needs to be done. Next slide. Okay. Regarding the maritime industry, this is also me in the shipyard of Constanța. Shipyard of Constanța is one of the bigger shipyards. Women in maritime industry are frequently employed in shipyards as administrative staff, in shipping companies, as shipping agents. The most of them are acting as shipping agents, and in other stakeholders, like in companies like mine that is doing shipping inspection. I don't know why I can pronounce the name for 2 days. In order to enhance everything, we are supported with, I'm actively supported with the collaboration with academic institutions. Those are the photos from the Maritime University of Constanța. The first one is a simulators room in University of Split, and the last one is a cooperation within the Maritime Faculty of Kotor. The thing that I want to do in my lifetime is to educate people and to foster them to do the lifelong learning. Because as Anna said, everything that we are doing today needs to be improved every day. And also some kinds of the let's say job positions are not still exist, but they will be demanded in several years. Of course, the cooperation with academic institutions is necessary in order to foster that gender equality. And as I can say, we had also organized a workshop by our company in the maritime faculty. Those are the photos from the workshop, and if you can see, the only woman in that workshop was me on the last photo. And those were some people from that are internationally recognized. And one man had over 70 years old, and he told his colleague, "Oh, she's the only woman, and they are listening to her." but from my experience, you need to earn that respect, and you need to stay open for every kind of the comments, and just to move forward in order to let's say survive this. Those are just maybe some more photos from the shipyards and from the real maritime environment. I just wanted to show you to see that this is not stop sharing. That this is not some kind of profession that is bright and shine, and that also there are a lot of people that are interested to be involved in the maritime industry, but from my perspective, they need to give some even extra force in comparison with some other professions. So I tried to be as short as possible. Then I would like to thank the organizers for having me here on site. And I would also like to ask all of you to give your opinion, or to ask something, or to be open to give a comment on this workshop, and to share your own experience.
Thank you very much.
Thank you from my side.
Hi, this is Matea from Red Pitaya. Thank you, ladies. It was very interesting. Maybe just feedback to the workshop. It would be really great. Maybe next time, Katarina, if you send also the limitation of the meeting. I mean, we were not sure how long it will take, so we thought it was going to be an hour, but now we are an hour and a half. Yeah, it would be good to limit it on the other side, but otherwise, very interesting story, stories, very inspiring. And I have a bit of a provocative question, and I hope I will not be like too stereotypical and too offensive maybe, but since a lot of the ladies are from the Balkans, I would really like to know, I mean, in my opinion, and I might be wrong, Balkans are still very male dominated market, right? Or business environment. How much were you ladies supported by your male family members, male colleagues at work, at universities, on your path through your career, through your life in general, to anyone who wants to answer?
Well, as we are muted, I will be the first one. I believe that everything goes from the family. I had that luck that I was always supported, and when you have a background and when you feel secure in your home, I think that you can achieve everything that you want. Of course, when you feel confident, the other people will notice that confidence, and they will support you in the professional life. That's something that I experienced. Irena, Anna, Maria, other ladies?
I could answer also that we have a hashtag, Men We Love, as we do have advisors and volunteers and our friends that are following us. They are giving advices that they want to help us, that they're introducing us to NGOs, local or international, and they do whatever it takes that Mihoho will be supported. So yes, there's a reality that, and we try to break it. That's why the Break Your Ceiling session of Elpida does for every woman. But we want to say that, and we want to think and believe that men will help us in whatever they do. I will note, underline that education through the women, that they became the mothers of the new guys, men, it's very crucial in order that to change.
If I may add, I agree completely. I love that you did this, Men We Love. I think that's great. I think that showing them how they can be helpful, because there are really a lot of them that really want to help, but just don't know how, is crucial. And as said, as educators and as moms, it is our responsibility to pass this on for sure. And that's why I really believe in the future that we also have to co-shape. Yeah, we are not the victims of this situation. We are active participants, and we have to do our part.
Anna,
I never had a lack of support from the people around me, from the family, friends, and so on. But I actually see, and especially in the Balkans, that the other women who, I cannot say who don't succeed, but who are not see the possibilities, are actually seeing that those women, I can say particularly from my own example, from the examples of the very successful women in companies and so on, they are actually the female colleagues are those who trust less and less in their success. And who give less support and who don't go in the direction of doing something as a team and to promote some values together. So I think, of course, I know plenty of female managers and businesswomen who have the lack of support from their family. Some of them who I know several examples of women who divorced due to the lack of support, especially their husband who had something against her own business and so on. He's wasting a lot of time and so on. All the stories are very individual, but I think without the support of the closest people in our surroundings, things would be much harder.
Thank you very much. It is a huge discussion that we can make about these issues. I see that people are leaving, and indeed it was scheduled at first to have a 1 hour duration, but of course, we couldn't.
When you have 16 women online, it's impossible to follow the agenda.
That's a good point, Nikolina.
So just only recap and maybe open your microphones, so whoever wants to state their expectations of this network, though we had great speeches from all of you.
I know that, sorry, I don't know if Lamana is with us. She's a great lady from Bosnia.
Oh,
yes.
You may open the microphone, or anyone. Otherwise, let's say that we may put some milestones, and let's agree that we may have all of you ladies who so eagerly are here with us today to have some future meetings and supporting workshops, and use some of your ideas, thoughts, and facts actually that you told us today, in order to give visibility to not only to your achievements, but also to what a woman can do with or without men's support, but of course with the support of NGOs like Mexoxo and other initiatives like SMART4WOMEN, or any other organization and network that contributes to this. We will be very happy if we have your consent to email you for future activities, and we all together, despite what they say that women cannot always collaborate in some issues. I see that it's feasible, and we can do it together.
From my side, thank you all for being here with us, and looking forward to see and hear you soon. Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
everyone.